All right, we're back. Another episode of Golden Bold. I'm Nathan Pagliaroli, your host, and today we got, I think, the A-team. I think we got the A-team going. We got big Frankie Mandarino. He's always been out here. What a consistent guy, but we finally got him. We got him. The big play-by-play commentator. Some call him Mr. Laurier. Some just throw unnecessary amounts of glaze at him. It's Mateo Beckles, everyone. What up, Mateo?
What's going on? We got a host who's got to use his indoor voice. I can't lie. That was a loud intro.
Yeah, a little bit of a loud intro.
Gotta have some enthusiasm here, you know?
I appreciate the glaze, though.
Always. Anything for you, King. Too much. All right, we'll dial it back. We're here to talk some serious business, boys. Some serious business.
Yep, OUA seasons have come to a conclusion.
Absolute heartbreaker over the weekend. Looked like the Golden Hawks had it, but the key number, 37 seconds away, Mateo.
It was, yeah.
We're here to talk about that. Women's hockey ousted by the Ottawa GGs in an unlikely upset. How are we feeling about that?
I'll say this about women's hockey. I'll say this. I connected to women's hockey much more heavily than I did with the men's team for a variety of factors. They come to Laurier with different circumstances, right? These guys are coming fresh out of, high school as opposed to the men's team had their OHL stint or had their whatever junior stint and then, pop back in to U Sports to finish it off. It's not that there's a disparity in effort, but you can see that there's one team that's just really they just really care a lot. And that's the women's team. And there are peers. There are peers. You just go there and you can't help but root for them. You can see how they all support each other. You can see the journeys that they've been on with one another, and you just can't help but support them. And so I'll say I was only supposed to come on this season as the men's play-by-play broadcaster. It wasn't until about 3 weeks before that I was approached to do the women's team as well. But I was bought in. Every game I bought in more. I said, this is the team of destiny. You've both heard me say it. And it was a great ride, but it was really unfortunate the way that it came to an end. It was really unfortunate. And I came back home that night and I sat in my bed and I was like, wow, that was unfortunate.
It was beyond unfortunate, Frankie. Unfortunately, you weren't at the game. That it was a packed out house. I think I sent you how it ended. You saw how it ended. You've been around the women's team a lot too.
I saw how it ended. You showed me the goal that ended it. And then again, it's just what Mateo said. It's unfortunate. It's heartbreaking. The team was so good. We were thinking this was our year, right? Like you say it at the beginning, oh yeah, we're going to do it this year. But this year it was actually it was looking like it. You go 21-5 in the regular season. You have great seasons from your seniors who are just really pushing your team forward. And now that it's over, where do you go from here, right? You're looking at it, those half of your team, your core is your seniors and they're all gone now. So what do you do, right?
And I say it every time that I discuss the context headed into the season. It was the perfect storm. You have just a monster of a recruiting class in forwards that makes you have to cut some forwards from years prior. And you're only, Sarah Howell had an all-rookie season last year. Kayla Renault, solid goalie last year. Your only question mark was that D-core looking a little bit shaky when you lose your top pairing of Brianna Bowman and Ariel McDonald last year. And then by the grace of, I don't even know, you get 2 transfer students in their 5th years and they make the best top pairing in the OUA in Kara Denholt and Gabby LaHoo. It was the perfect storm. Your D is solid. You've got 7 quality, everyday capable D going all the way up to Riley Kriego. And your forward core is giving you the best offense in the OUA. It was a perfect storm. You're the best goaltending in the OUA. It was a perfect storm.
Best goaltending tandem in U Sports.
Best goaltending. Well, I think UBC had a little edge towards the end there.
We were ranked 2 and 3 at the end of the year.
It's just quality of competition I find for UBC at least.
Yeah, Canada West is a joke. But the point is, it was the perfect storm. And they weathered that storm, did the Ottawa GGs. And Nathan, you and I were a part of that moment. We were a part of that moment where we had our heads turned towards the left the entire time. Offensive zone face-off, ozone draw after ozone draw, save after save. Power play, save after save. And then we turn our heads to the right into the D zone. Puck comes to the point. Shot, deflected, scores, and it was over. It was over just like that. And all we could do was just stare at the ice as the Ottawa fans celebrated. And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, man, can we challenge this? Can we do something? And the Ottawa photographers are taking pictures of us in the box, looking stunned, staring at the rink. I wrote this on my LinkedIn post. You dream about going to the playoffs and commentating an overtime winner. It's the best moment that you could be a part of until it's against your own team. Then what?
Exactly. Like I've been part of sports, I've been part of moments my entire life, and I've never felt gut punched like that in my career. It's like you sit there, you're so hyped for this team. You feel like I was on with Tanner last week. We were talking some shit. I'll say that. And it was about Ottawa. We were like, Tanner, especially Tanner. Tanner was on, he was like, we're going to blow the doors off Ottawa.
Just throwing Tanner under the bus here, by the way.
Tanner
what
was
a manager.
Tanner was on them.
What a guy.
Tanner was on them last week, and he'll probably still stand by it. I texted him after game one. He's like, we did this. This is our fault because we just jinxed the Golden Hawks. But we thought after game one, it's one loss in Ottawa. They come back down to Rim Park. Historically not the greatest, but
Historically, no wins.
Then they won game two. They pulled away game two, and we both started texting after. It's like, hey, this is where we finally turned the tide. We faced the adversity. We're to come back, and then 37 seconds left, and it all goes wrong, and off another knuckleball tip style of play.
It can't end like this.
It cannot end like that.
It can't end like this.
I'll give it to you anecdotally with regards to Rim, though. And I got there was a lot of atmosphere surrounding Rim, because first of all, I was given false information that Rim had different dimensions than the Rec Complex by an athletics employee, so not even my fault. I was just being fed the info that was circulating. But then as well, they dropped game one, right, away, and then two of the players text me, and they're texting anonymous, two of the players text me, and they're talking about, we just wanted to do it at Rim. We just wanted more home games. We wanted you on the call for a couple more games. I said, guys, you got this. You guys got this. They're like, we wanted Rim Redemption. I was like, guys, Rim Redemption. Here we go. And I was like, I believe that they could get it done, because if you watch that first game, yes, we did get like 5 power play opportunities and went 0 for 5. But the disparity, the lopsidedness in the officiating was the most. I was like sitting in my kitchen, nearly screaming at my screen. 1 at the officials, and 2 at another factor. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus.
I think you can, Mateo. I think this is it's a safe space. I know what you're thinking.
I believe it's a safe space.
Well, why don't you say what you think I'm thinking? What are you thinking?
Is it who I'm thinking?
It is who. Listen, I just wasn't impressed with the entire game.
Here's the thing.
And the watching experience.
I know what Mateo's thinking about. If you think I'm a homer, especially when I'm calling games, I'm one of the most biased commentators ever. Like, you guys are big impartial guys.
You're like a big Jack Edwards for Boston kind of guy.
I am like Jack Edwards. Like, I'm purple and gold ride or die. There's a certain person up in Ottawa that takes that to a new extent. And if a Laurier player would touch an Ottawa player, hammering for a penalty, clamoring for a penalty, it was certainly not the most watchable experience. It is so rage-inducing, especially how that game went compared with that. Like, you were watching it too.
I was.
It was so bad.
I'll say, I'm sure that's probably how Ottawa fans felt listening to you in Game 3. Because, oh my goodness, you listen to this guy's. Imagine you're watching at home, your team just goes to their first ever Macaw final. You're elated, and it can't end like that.
It can't.
Laurier.
Not
but no, fair enough. This guy's got the passion. In his first year.
We love the passion.
But yeah, and then afterwards, we take the loss, go to sleep, and then I wake up the next day, and it's almost, you get a sort of clarity as to what happens. It's like when you put up a story, and then you're like, oh, we probably shouldn't have hit hard on that. That probably wasn't the play. You know what I mean? It's just, wasn't it. That's how I felt. Afterwards, I get up and I'm like, man, if only they done so-and-so. If only they done so-and-so. Blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, you could say what had been plaguing this team towards the end of the regular season, and it came from Coach herself and was cited as something to work on, just the inability to close. Couldn't close. Those last 10 minutes, couldn't close. And you thought that it was turning in the right direction with the Guelph game, the senior night game on Valentine's Day, the night we spent together. But then it came back up with Ottawa when you face a team that plays a more suffocating game, a better game compared to Brock. It just came back up, and it's unfortunate. But what can you do? And you say half the seniors are leaving, and we could be cooked, or we could be great, and all the new recruits are the greatest players ever, and all rookies like Mark Clausen was. but it's tough to know. But it's not a happy feeling living in this uncertainty. Last year it was a great team, and we lost 2 seniors. We lost 3 seniors. One of them didn't get any playing time, or didn't get much playing time. A 4th line rotator, and then our top pairing. So they left, and we'd ranked nationally. I think we were about 8th, maybe 6th. But the feeling was, man, that sucked the way we lost, but we'll be back. You can't say that for a whole lot of certainty right now. You do have some bright. You've got a goalie of the year. You've got a all-star forward. I just don't know.
And I feel like there is positivity. Like, it's not the be all and end all, because you have those pieces, and those are your pieces to build around. Now you're building your new forward core around Clara Chisholm and Abby Glandon and Kylie Liberty, and you're building your new decor around Mara Klassen, and you're building your new goaltending tandem around second in U Sports OUA goaltender Sarah Howell. So I feel like it's not the end of the world, because I feel like these rookies will come into the program, they'll learn under these pieces that we already have, and they'll become even greater than anybody would ever think they would be.
It's a fair point, but you think about how long it took to get to this point where you're ranked, where you're the best team in the OUA, where you're ranked top 5 in the nation pretty much the entire season. Kelly Patton came to this team in 2018, and the team did not make the playoffs until 2 years ago, and that was just going through different iterations of the team, had to build a whole new recruiting class, 5 years worth of recruiting to get to this point. And now your core is gone. And you look at the men's team, for example, right? You know, they were a playoff team 2 years ago, and then 5 wins last year, back in the playoffs, but fringe. How do you really build up to that point? There's only so many instances in which you're going to get sort of the perfect storm of recruiting and transfers and luck and, you know, divisional weakness and all that, just to culminate into the perfect storm of getting a top 5 place in the nation. It's your window. It doesn't come around that often. And there's just no telling when that perfect storm will come around again, because like I said, you know, coach has been here for 8 years now, and it was her winningest season. She's won a Macaw Cup with Western, but it was still her winningest season here, and it just didn't work out. So you got to wonder how things will progress. Laurier still, you know, hasn't won a Macaw Cup in 12 years. At one point, they were the most successful program in the OUA, one of the most successful behind University of Toronto. But it was a dangerous program, and it's been neutered, and you have to see. There's no real telling if, you know, Kelly's, you know, vision, if it's going to be like a, you know, like a Gino with UConn, where it just sort of like, you know, persists after setting that standard, setting that culture, or if it was just, this was a really good team and these were really good players.
And I feel like yes, next year will be a bit of a down year. Like we won't see a team this good again for a while, but I feel like it could happen within the next 5-6 years. And I like Kelly Patton's style. She does flip-flop the lines a little bit, which is a little bit shaky, but I feel like her style works, especially her special teams. I feel like her style works, her systems of play work, and we've seen them work. And now that the pieces that we're going to build around, they know how her system works, they can input their own opinions onto the new recruiting class, and you can just get better and better and better and better as time goes on.
Respectfully, 5 to 6 years in the future, I don't care. This was the year for me, a future graduate. Next year's my last year. And you may say, oh, like, you know, sometimes they contract out commentators, come on down to Waterloo. That's a deep commute. And I got insurance to pay and I got bills to pay. Who knows? I might not ever put on this headset again. It's just unfortunate. In your undergraduate, you're like, hey, it's 2 great years to see maybe something happen. It doesn't happen. But it's not about that. It's about the program. And those are my thoughts. Great team. It was great getting to, you know, starting to make content, it reaching that team, getting to know some of the players, having their family reach out. Very nice. And you could see how much everybody really believed in the squad. And it was heartbreaking afterwards once we left and we were sitting outside the locker room, sort of lingering a little bit. And you saw the parents, some of them looking pretty upset. You heard every Ottawa player leave the room to cheers in our home arena. It was devastating. And at a certain point, we just said, well, we got to get out of here. We saw the coaches come out, and they were just like, it was just unfortunate scenes, and not a situation I'd like to be in again, but it's unfortunate. I thought we were going to the McCaw. I was getting my McCaw Cup call ready.
It is really unfortunate. And I think one of the most degrading moments from that day is walking out of the building. The exit's on the Ottawa side. We got to walk through.
Walked right through them.
And they were just cheering, and you're just like walking through in the Laurier sweater.
It was purple and gold. They were black and gold. Yeah.
And just like to speak to the point of like where this team goes from now, I think when you have a winning program, when you've had a winning program now for a few years, Kelly Patton can attract, you've seen it, you can attract talent, fifth-year talent. It won't just be all rookies, won't be all the first years. She has the ability now to attract talent. When you're a winning program, you stay winning. And it's unfortunate this is not the NHL, it's not the NCAA, where you can throw around money and like big NIL money, big program. It really comes down to is recognition of the program, reputability of the program. That's what's going to attract people. And we have a large senior class, especially like, I don't know if you guys have gone through it, but like when you go through like recruiting classes and when you try to like look at schools you want to attend to, it's about, okay, you have a really good program, a really winning program, but there's also a lot of seniors going because as a first year, as a young person, you don't really want to go to a school where, hey, I might sit behind someone for 2-3 years. You kind of want to get playing time right away. I think the Golden Hawks kind of present that perfect storm right now for the women's team. It's you have a lot of seniors leaving. You have a program with a winning mindset, and there's still players around. It's not like it's totally gutted. There's still a lot of quality around this team. I don't think 5 to 6 years. I think U Sports is too volatile for us to be bad for 5 to 6 years or not be good. Like you can see anything can happen. OTEC knocked out Queens, Ottawa knocked out Laurier. Like anything could happen. Any team going to run, and it's gone to that point where I don't think we're that cooked. I don't think the women's team is cooked at all. I still think there's enough talent, especially when there's not much disparity. I think Kelly Patton can outcoach some coaches. I also think she can get outcoached sometimes. Yeah, that happened. I think that happened in the Ottawa series. Yeah. And I think we have there's a solid structure set up already. You just need to find those pieces once again to maybe cement that structure. Because I don't think we're reaching 21 wins, 60 points again. But I can surely see a 45, 50-point season. Like, I don't think that's totally out of the cards, a 2-3 seed. I don't think 1 seed maybe, but there's definitely, it's not going to be, losing season after losing season from here on out.
To your point about the transfers, I think that it was a really unique situation that we found ourselves in where we had those spots. So, I mean, I haven't done the count with regards to how many recruits we've already got because there's a fair amount that are already signed on. But just, it felt like such a unique situation where we just happened to have 2 top pairing D deciding to come here. And you wonder, is it because of the team specifically, or did they just really want to pursue their education here at Wilfrid Laurier? Can't know for sure. But with regards to the recruiting class, it's interesting because the recruits we have, like, and even in like last year with Abby Glandon and Maria Roussel, and then this year Zoe Dupuis, they're all coming from that same sort of area. A lot of them from that Ottawa area. A lot of them, the Cambridge area, like locally, but it's sort of these hubs where many of them have played junior together or, minor hockey together or whatever. And you could perhaps say it's because there's just not that many teams. But also it's interesting. And I don't really know how the recruiting, like the process works, but it makes me wonder if there's almost like a tunnel vision when you're going with, solely these players out of these sort of hubs. But it's good players, right? Clausen, good player, captain of her team in Nepean Junior, Wildcats, all rookie. And, Zoe Dupuis slotting in there. And then there's also players that we didn't even get to see much of. Haley Murphy, Estee Fodor. You've got vets who haven't seen much playing time. I wonder if Somlinski and Kayla O'Toole get more time to slot in. But also, like we said, there's a lot of recruits. You got to wonder, like, do people get forced out from this year? Because we've seen it happen before. I think we were just talking about it earlier today, where there's players who I remember playing when I was in my first year and second year, and they just disappear from the team. And I'd ask around, and I was told by one person, there were just a lot of recruits, so some of them just decided to step away, and because there's competition for those spots. But it is like that's a good point. It is very volatile, and it can go either way. But it just feels like it's going to be tough to replicate this. It was her winningest season, and that's a big thing. But we'll see we'll see. I'm not counting them out whatsoever, and I'll probably continue to enjoy them the most in my final year next year.
Yeah, like to that point, like you can talk about the hubs. Like that's the relationships that, Kelly Patton has. She probably has a relationship with a coach out in Ottawa. She definitely has something out in Cambridge, especially when you're based out in Waterloo. Just kind of how it works with the recruiting situation. You're going to have you have these connections. And I think I like that she has those connections where you can trust a coach in their development in junior. Because the development doesn't just start at Laurier. It doesn't start wherever they went before in the OUA. It can start in those connections in junior when you're younger too. And I kind of like that. You have that system. It's almost like a development system from Kelly. Kelly knows these players. The coach might know them since they're 14, 13, 15. And then you can trust how they develop. You can have influence on that. They come to Laurier. And I think, especially as how some players progressed this season, it was like Lily Spencer. She did
have some good progression.
Like she became like initially, like you would only notice her when she get bullied on the ice earlier on this season.
Yeah.
And then during the later parts of the season, during the playoffs, that fourth line, it finally showed out.
She claimed her role for sure.
For sure. And I can see her being a part of this team for the next 3-4 years. And it's pretty impressive.
Just a little bit of a topic shift. Frankie, you remember the Tenacious G.
Yes.
Tenacious G saga.
Yes.
A nickname I came up with on the fly.
Yes.
And we're sort of bantering about it. What was it? Was it Brock? Yeah, game one.
It's Brock, game one.
And we're talking about Tenacious G. I hope it'll catch on. And then watching Brock, and then you see the Brock, Stefan Berube. You see him rip a little Tenacious G. Apparently somebody told him to... told a producer if they could say that. That's what he said in the comments, and he said, "Yeah, I've got to get this off." And I think as I was leaving one game, I think it was game 2 at Rim, I was walking out, and I think it was Kylie La Liberty's mom. I was walking out, I was like, "Oh, here we go! Like, great win, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
And she goes, "Tenacious G," and I was like, "Absolutely, absolutely." And so as Nathan's giving his monologue, I just checked my notifications. I made a video on the Tenacious G saga. I see somebody going, "Let's go, Abby," at Abby Glandon. This is so awesome under the Tenacious G video. Now I'll say this. I think it was pretty fun, but I can't look her in the eye now, honestly. Saw her at the AC. I had to keep my head down. Saw her post-game at Rim. Had to keep the head down. I feel like, at a certain point, like you want to be building your personal brand. It's good and everything, but I also feel like a circus monkey sometimes just clanging cymbals. Like, yeah, say the thing. Say the thing. Say the words. What words are you doing?
Say the line, Bart.
I got grilled. Exactly. I got grilled by a player the first time I went down for interviews. I'm not going to name the player, but she looks me dead in the eye. She's like, "So what words did you do today? You watching the Olympics? Did you do any Olympic words today? What words are you doing? Make the videos, right?" I was like, I don't know. I didn't prepare anything today." She's like, "Why not? Why didn't you do?" I was like, I was just taking a bit of a break." I sounded like an idiot. What an embarrassment. And it's not even a player who plays with like a sort of mean streak on the ice. So I was totally caught off guard. And I was just, oh my God. I was walking away. I was like, she totally grilled me. What do I do? I wanted to never go down there again. I went home and I started like typing in my little notes app. "Oh, the women's team is terrifying. Women's team is so intimidating. I never want to do this again." I was getting ready to delete my account. But you got to keep it going. But no, that was, it's been a saga. It's been a saga with Beckel Sports. And of course, that's the one team that it's caught traction with. Men's team doesn't gaff. Done a couple of basketball games. A few of the basketball players have found it. But overall, it's the women's team. And he told me that, one of them told me that, one morning at practice, they came and like, all watch the videos in a circle. It's just like I said, I'm like I picture like a, monkey in a fez with the cymbals going like, duh, 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 duh. You can't really see the action I was doing there, but it's just, it's rough looks. But shout out Tenacious G.
Yeah, I think honestly, I feel like that's like the best part of it is when your stuff gets recognized and you just have a lot of fun with it. Cause like what else are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You'd be boring? No, you gotta have fun with it.
Exactly. No, you're absolutely right, and it's been fun. It's yielded a lot of fruit, like in the Lakehead hats. Lakehead hat that I've got on right now. That made my season, and I still haven't posted my love letter to Lakehead, and I probably never will. But there was also, the parents coming up and being like, "Man, you're great." And I'm like, "You know what? You're great. And so is your daughter." Just all of that, just it just really makes it feel like you don't take into account. Like sometimes you'll sit here and be like, "Oh, nobody's watching OUA.TV." But you know who is listening? Emily Olsen's family down in Lloydminster, Alberta, the border city between Alberta and Saskatchewan. Fun fact.
Wow.
It's somebody's listening always.
Always. And you never know.
Whether it's Scooter Dan, whether it's,
Kelly Patton's, was it dad?
yeah, Murray Patton back at home in Woodstock, somebody's always watching.
That's right. That's right.
Oh man, it's just he's grown the game, everyone. He's growing the game. He loves the women's
You'd
team
hope so.
much. He loves the women's team so much.
I just don't, not to make this the Beckel Sports Show, but I really don't know what I'm going to do. Like, perhaps there'll be a gig here and there, but otherwise, it's just going to be like, here's the lunch I made for day 39 of unemployment, 39 out of 247, till the reg season's back. Here's the grilled cheese I made. It didn't get as good a browning as usual, but do they ever in the summertime? Just a pathetic life that people are going to get a window into, and it's just like, man, yeah, maybe I should have gotten more stuff on the back burner. Maybe I shouldn't have posted all my bangers right away. Maybe I should have left a little bit of a gap between how many school references and how many government references. But no, I just got too hasty. I'd be sitting at my dining room table, man, I got to do something. Start editing a video like a twerp.
Yep. I can't say I relate.
I'm just easy. We've gone off the rails. Mateo,
Yeah,
Gone off the
sorry.
rails.
I'll nice it here.
Mateo has gone from women's sports monologue to grilled cheeses, and yeah, I don't know. Really, I think we go World Baseball Classic now.
I think so too.
Yeah, okay.
I want to
We've
talk
piqued his interest.
Yeah, I want to talk World Baseball Classic. It's been fun. It's been absolutely wild.
Hilarious.
It's been like, how much of a fool do you want to make yourself? More particular to the United States team. Mateo, you looks like you want to like get in on something.
They're gonna lose. The United States will lose.
I haven't watched a minute of it, but I have seen. I've seen the handshake controversy. I've seen the United States manager talking about, oh man, we've punched our ticket to the quarterfinals, and he had not. But then they ended up doing it anyway because everything always works out for the United States. Now, you want to see obviously that ups. It's tomorrow, right? Canada
Yeah,
US.
it's 8 o'clock.
You want to see it, but
It's not happening.
it's not happening.
It's not happening.
Let's prep ourselves for some reality checks here.
It's gonna be some straight belt like this Canada team. Tanner was on it here again. You mean Tanner? Just talking garbage again about Team Canada because the pitching staff is just absolutely
Hey,
nobody's.
don't diss 42-year-old retired James Paxton coming out of retirement
No, it's straight
for the
nobody.
for the WBC.
It's just like can that pitching staff that averages about 91, 92 on their fastball like beat Aaron Judge, Bryce Harper, and the USA team?
Okay, but you got to take into account these guys are used to seeing high 90, 100. It's not like the Czech Republic guy who's throwing 82.
I was gonna
And
say it's like when
and
that Czech
striking out
plumber
people?
struck out Otani.
He threw 5 shutout against Japan again.
Yeah.
He's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, because nobody's used to seeing that slow. And I feel like that'll play into Canada's hand a little bit because you have those slower pitchers. And Aaron Judge hasn't seen 91 since his rookie year. And he's seeing 91 mile an hour changeups now because that's the average changeup speed is in the 90s and the fastballs in the hundreds because people are throwing absolute fireballs.
It's just I don't
Unless
see,
you're Chris Sale and throwing an 80 mile an hour slider.
And no, here's the thing. I just don't see this Canadian team doing nothing. Like it's gonna be. It might be a 5-run mercy. If I'm be a 5-inning mercy, it might be.
I don't know about that. I don't think it'll be that bad.
I think it could get that bad, especially like the U.S. just got slapped in the face by the Italians, which are surprisingly good.
Shout out the homeland.
They're surprisingly
Brother.
good. It's a bunch of New York Italians
Shout out Vinny Pasquantino.
just shouting at
Time to
everyone
make a
now.
sandwich.
They got the espresso machine. They are hyped up out of their mind. But
Like
I think after you get slapped in the face as a baseball team by a team you should have beat, as like the Americans, because they were out partying the night before the game, because we were already in the quarterfinals, and then all of a sudden you're not in the quarterfinals anymore.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to be pissed. I think they're going to take it out on the Canadian team. And I think it's going to be Josh Naylor. He's going to hit like a solo shot to cut the lead to like 18 or something.
Chris Paul cuts the lead to 43 with a huge 3.
This game might be over by 9 p.m. It might be over by the time Krabby Joe's appetizers get to half price.
I'm still thinking about your.
That's Chuck's Roadhouse, buddy.
No, it's at Krabby Joe's too.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know
I'm
that.
still thinking about your Italian American remark. You kind of give Italian American.
I mean, we're all
When
like,
you come to my aunt's house, take your shoes off at the front door.
it's too mixed
What are you
Italian.
talking
and pure
about?
Italian. Like, this is the most Italian this podcast is ever going to get.
Exactly,
Italians right
exactly,
here.
exactly. My fantasy baseball team was named after Vinny Pasquantino. We were called the Vineyard, and my picture was
Oh,
Vinny
criminy.
Pasquantino holding a ribwitch because, like, Vinny Pasquantino is just awesome, and he's probably the best player that Italian team has.
There's people out here living lives that you'd have never imagined.
Exactly.
It's,
I am the #1 Vinny Pasquantino supporter.
I'll say WBC last year, Like,
3 years ago.
yeah, last time it happened. It was it kind of had motion. Just I would say that final game though.
Japan.
US Japan. Everybody was tuning in for that final at bat too.
If you were talking about like a tournament that helped boost baseball to where it is now, it's that tournament. Here's the thing about this tournament. Certain teams are really good last time, like Puerto Rico. Cuba was decent last time. Even Mexico was better. Those teams are not very good this year.
I feel like Mexico's still pulling their weight though.
They're pulling the weight, but they're
I was surprised they fell to Italy. Not really being in tune with how good the teams were, but just like on a legacy standpoint. I saw like the the conditions for the states to not advance, where Mexico has to win by but 4, and I was like, oh, we're good.
Vinny Pasquantino hit 3 home runs that game.
So who knew?
Shout out my boy.
And then I know you have a little friend at TMU who's a big Venezuelan supporter.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
yes,
I do. And they got.
My Venezuelan friend. Shout out Santiago Ortega.
I thought they were going to pull it off last night.
I honestly, I did too. But the DR is just in another world.
That might be the best top 4 you could have ever assembled.
Yeah.
Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. It is just like you can't think of.
It's mental.
No, you can't think of like more expensive players to be in your top 4, but like some of the most dangerous hitters in the game.
Well, yeah, they're gonna hit a home run and then they're gonna cha-cha slide across all the 4 bases. Like that's what they're gonna do.
Not to reel it back to women's hockey, but you mentioned Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and I remember. Do you remember that home run he had in the playoffs last year where they said, Guerrero Jr. or Vlad Jr. strikes again? Right? You remember that call?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Haley Simonowski scored, I was gonna go Simonowski in the semis. Strikes again. It was going to be so tough. Never happened. Anyway, sorry, but as you were. It just never exits my brain.
Has to relate everything back to women's sports, It's a great team. Great team.
Yeah.
But like this is
Happy belated International Women's Day, by the way, to anybody listening.
He went around the entire room during the game 2, or I think it was.
Game 3, yeah.
Game 3. Happy International Women's Day. And that's his bag broken everything. He said he took all the burden for women.
I did. I absorbed all the negative juju on behalf of women. My backpack snapped strapped. I got cocked that same night.
No,
not really. Just metaphorically. It was just a bad... Guys, come on. Metaphorically, it was just a bad look for me. And, whoever's censoring this, have fun. But it was just, it was a bad day. But I did it. And then I got sick. I got sick the next day. It was all for women. I raise a fist to women everywhere. I hope somebody absorbed negative juju during Black History Month on my behalf, because I had a pretty decent February, to be honest with you. Just a measly 4 weeks, though. No change. No extraneous days. Anyway, what can you do?
You only get 14 though.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're right. I claimed it. Okay. So here's what I did. Claimed that first half, got a little refund, like a little Apple Music cancel subscription. Cashed that in for I was really in tune all month. But usually I only claim the top half because I'm ethical. This year I was feeling unethical. In my 20s, get a little
loose.
Yeah, get a little loose in the 20s.
Get a little loose.
No hay nada más que hablar entonces. You know what I mean? A little Breaking Bad for you. A little Better Call Saul.
What?
Anyway.
I have no clue where he's gone.
Not at all.
Folks, let's log back in here. Start talking about women's hockey. We got baseball to talk about. Criminy.
We got the biggest tournament of the year.
We do.
And the semifinals, they look like it might be one of the most competitive quarters.
Oh Sorry, no,
go on. He's back again.
I said semifinal, and his brain lit up.
I'm just thinking baseball, and we are a Laurier sport. No, but you can go on. But I'm just thinking about how Nathan, this is a guy who is a former baseball athlete and is, trying to climb that Mount Everest of getting onto the Laurier baseball team as someone of ethnic ambiguity. And which is, doable, feasible. It's 2026. And Nathan's like, Mateo, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to try and become a commentator for Laurier baseball.
You know how tough that would be to commentate baseball?
Exactly.
And I said, Nathan, go on OUA.TV and look for the baseball category.
Like, imagine having a guy.
It's not there.
No, there is one.
There is.
I swear I saw it.
Open it in front of me right now.
I don't have my computer.
There's no games. There's no real games on it. I thought there's teams.
You cannot select base. You can select fencing, There's no baseball.
Well,
You got to be a trailblazer. You
well,
gotta be
You've got
I will
championship
say-
bronze medal
I
game.
will say,
What will you say?
the Venezuelan we previously mentioned, Santiago Ortega, shout out. He did stats for a company that covered the OUA baseball finals in Waterloo, and he came up here to do that. So there is an option for you if you really want to go do it.
We can be
It's there.
trailblazers. We
It's
can
there.
be trailblazers.
We could be trailblazers.
We could be trailblazers
We
here.
could be trailblazers.
And here to talk about my baseball prowess, you know, I went to go back to my email. I was like with my buddy last night where I went to go through my email. It's like, hey, like, don't you used to play baseball? I'm like, yeah. And then it hit me. Wait a minute. I used to have a offer in the States. You want to know what school this is from?
What D3?
It's NAIA.
What D4 school?
NAIA, so JUCO.
Yeah, base got a JUCO offer. This made me feel so special. Like remembering this, I'm like, I used to be something.
Oh, you're still something, pal.
And then
Yeah.
it was
You're
from
something in our hearts.
it was from
Yeah.
the University of Ottawa in Arizona. In Surprise, Arizona.
The fact that this isn't the first I've heard of this school makes me think that you floated this in my direct
That's-
messages before.
That's not the first I've never heard
Put
of
that in your Insta bio.
OUAZ.
Rejected
rejected.
Ottawa, Arizona recruit.
Think I can use this as leverage to get on Laurier baseball?
I don't know.
I'm going to say no.
They gave me 15 grand.
Wow.
The tuition was 50 though.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. That's fair.
I don't know.
guess.
Listen, build
College-
your personal
college sports.
branding.
Yeah. Build
Like
your personal
Frankie when he tries to show out for the freshmen on the hockey team. It's
All
just
right.
you gotta do what you can
We
to,
can't be saying this
to
on
get
the air.
yourself out there.
We cannot be saying this on the air.
Is it wrong?
With my mother potentially listening.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think she liked my LinkedIn post, or maybe it was your father.
Either or.
Don't worry. One of my buddies from
Frankie
Pure
doesn't even like freshmen like that. What?
Okay.
Freshmen? Ugh.
All right.
He does not do that at all.
Don't worry, one of my Pure Region buddies hit me up. He was like, "You should make your own Beckles Sports." I'm like, "I don't have motion like that."
Yeah.
No, you don't have to have motion. I mean,
I can't do the Beckles Sports or else I'm going to get called a ripoff.
probably. I mean, like, that's a different story. But like, I'll say this, and on a serious note, I'm Beckles Sportsing, and then I come across this guy in Waterloo who does sort of the same thing, but he's got meta glasses going. I actually almost asked for those for Christmas so I could incorporate it into Beckles Sports before I realized that I'd use them for nothing else and probably get called names. But interesting stuff he's doing, and so it's sort of in the same vein as me, where it's just less eclectic, like chat, like how many can I, and more just like here's my day. But I'm thinking like, you know what, fair enough, like slightly opposing niches, but it's still cool, and you know possibly that could have felt threatening, but it's at the same time it's like, you know, appreciate your peers and what they're doing, and it's a cool guy, and it's allowed me, I would say, to number one, make like game days more interesting to do. When you're doing the same thing over and over again, it can get old. Two, like, you know, you get opportunities. I've like met some interesting people, both outside of school, and then also, you know, it's helped me meet people in this school. They'd be like, "Hey, I've seen your blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Yeah, you know, no big deal. It's just kind of what we do in a day." But no, I'm glad I made the decision to do that because it's been fun to do. I don't know how I'm gonna carry it on, but yeah, no, Beckles Sports. Also, it's a good last name to put sports with. Like, it's like, you know, yeah.
Mine.
Hey, it's a Pagliaroli Sports. We're gonna make a sandwich. That's all well and good too, but I'm just, you know, fortunate to have been blessed with an onomatopoeia last name.
I don't know how it keeps spinning back to Beckles Sports.
Yeah.
Like, we were on the WBC.
We were on the
5 minutes ago.
WBC 5 minutes ago when we were talking about Beckles' Instagram.
Well, because I talked about your baseball broadcasting endeavors. I didn't bring it back to Beckles Sports this time.
It just always spins. It always
It
finds a way.
always finds a way. It always finds a way. Beckles Sports is just
Oh, because
in and around the Laurier campus.
you said your friends told you to do it, but you don't
Yeah.
think you had the motion. Bro, I'm telling you, maybe after I graduate.
Yeah, I think
But-
maybe like when me and Frankie start taking like play-by-play from you.
Yeah, maybe I'll like pass the torch. Maybe I'll give you the login to Beckles Sports, and they'll be like, "Man, you got lighter."
No, I'll start tanning just for you.
Yeah, thanks. But no, yeah, I definitely. It's been, you know, as a volunteer, you call the games, but you can only get so like involved because you're only there so often. And I think last year working with Marcom in athletics allowed me to feel sort of more integrated. And then this year more so because, you know, you're doing Marcom, it's still sort of removed from the actual game days. But then here, like, you're down there, you're meeting the players, you're talking with them, you're trying to get a feel, like, you're meeting coach finally. So, like, I've been covering this team for 3 years now, and I posted on my story, my first play-by-play game was the first of Laurier's 10-game win streak against Brock, which sort of illustrates how long it's been. But this is the first, like, sort of year, even first sort of calendar year, not really much in 25, but in 26, when I started going down to talk, was the first year where I sort of really felt integrated into the grander scheme of things, and it's been good.
Yeah, it's been great. And even for me, like, I just took on a big sports manager role a few months ago. But like, here's the thing, like,
Shameless plug.
here's the thing with sports though, like what I kind of want to do with it, with
Pagliaroli manages.
with broadcasting, like we cover a few sports, basketball, hockey, but there's so many other great sports here. Like I think we should cover, like soccer. That was something even before, like even I started broadcasting. We think about covering, like lacrosse even. I want to do baseball. Baseball would be hard because it's in the middle of a cemetery, Betchel Park.
I feel like lacrosse would be fun to cover.
It would be. Like
I feel like it'd be fun.
field hockey.
I just, former field hockey commentator
Field
right here.
hockey commentator.
But I'll say it's just, it's tough, right? As an organization that is external to athletics, like there's only so much pull that we have, especially as students. But no, I've even like wanted to get involved in soccer, and I'm thinking, we've got the down month of September before hockey starts, basketball starts. I'm like, maybe I'll try and do write-ups for soccer, like for the articles with athletics, but I'm probably not going to do that because busy guy. But no, I definitely like would absolutely love to see our involvement expand and influence be seen, but I don't know. It's been the same for so long.
Someone needs to switch it up. There's so much.
Be the spark plug.
I feel like trends need to be set.
There's so many great
Nate,
sports.
trends
here.
need to be set.
Even rugby. Like we worked with a few rugby players, especially part of the broadcasting, like the camera people, some camera operators.
One rugby player. Yes.
She loves her rugby team.
Oh, she loves the rugby, and she loves that Midas the Golden Hawk.
Big. Hey.
More lacrosse players than rugby players on the webcast, but yes.
Exactly, but there's still like for fall, like that September, October part, like there's not hockey, there's not basketball, but there is a lot of sports on campus. I think those need to be tapped into
but I
because
feel like the problem with lacrosse is that it's all in one place at one time. Like we hosted it this year. I don't think we're gonna host it again. So that would be the only issue in like calling it.
yeah, but like
Right?
there's still other like rugby.
Yeah.
That's one. Like here's the thing, like you ask someone on campus, like, hey, do you know anything about Laurier sports?
They're gonna be like, I know the football team's good.
The football team's good. Like no one knew about the women's hockey team until the semifinals.
Yeah.
It was like
It's a symptom, though, of just the greater problem with Canadian youth sports in general, where it's just
It's not the same as the States where it's not integrated. It's not drilled into your brain like it is in the States.
And in the States, I came across an interesting post on LinkedIn where a lot of these athletic programs actually operate on a loss, and they feel that it's worth it just to sort of cement that culture, right? And, it's made up in other areas of the university. And I don't think any program here would dream of it.
no,
in
like,
Canada.
no.
You see
Like
McGill making
McGill,
cuts to their
exactly.
entire athletic program. It's just not a priority, and it probably never will be just because of the culture contrast. And so for people like, there's a lot of great things about being in Canada compared to the United States, but for people working in sports and aiming to work in sports, it's just, it's bleak, and it's a much smaller market.
It's just a lot more difficult, I feel like, to even get into it. Like to even do the things that we do. Like a lot of schools don't have this. Right?
I think it's like Laurier and TMU.
We're lucky to have what we have, and I'm gonna make a very bold claim. We are the second best sports producing school in Ontario. I feel like it's TMU and then us.
We certainly
in
have the
terms of
talent.
broadcast of quality and talented commentators like Matteo Beckles, Nathan Pagliaroli, and myself. But I feel like we're number 2, and I feel like the only reason that is because we don't have a dedicated program for it. And all these other schools, well, just mainly TMU, they do, and that's like the whole reason why they do that is because they have this dedicated program. And we're gonna just make all those students do it. We're doing this we're doing this for the love of the game.
Well,
For the love of the game.
It is, and it's just the point. Like when you we've listened to a lot of broadcasts, just like to listen to it, and just like you have to study the game. You have to see what the other teams. And it's like we have it pretty good. Like, I find our broadcast quality sometimes a little bright, sometimes a little dark, but that's what you're going to get with OUA. It's not the most perfect. Commentating quality, like, it doesn't matter. You can go down the line. It's not just us three. There's like way more guys. There's a few more guys. There's Tanner, Bernavan, Jada, Owen Mack. What a great guy. We love Owen Mack. He's on the podcast. We'll get him back here next week, I think. And it's just up and down the lineup, basically. Just like the women's team. Up and down the lineup. Everyone can plug and play.
Yeah.
It's a pretty...
But at the same time, there's just so many things that we could add. Things that were floated at the start about being added, but it's just, obstacles. We tried to get sideline reporters going. Tried to get who knows what.
Coach's Corner. I know, Frank, you wanted a Coach's Corner.
I wanted a coach's corner. I wanted to sit with a tie and just call people by the wrong name.
And, Nathan, you've got another year at least.
Bare minimum.
Of sports manager, so this is your time to be the spark plug, in my opinion, because I'm somebody who wants to see things happen, but also, do I have the time to dedicate to sort of bashing my head against the wall to try and get it going, especially my last year? No, but you are the future. The both of you are the future. Yep. And I'm just a relic of the past.
Oh boy,
there's some serrating we're getting here. He's passing the torch a bit early.
Oh, they should call me Beckles fades away into the distance.
Where are we even right now?
I don't know.
I know you got to get going soon.
Yeah, in about 10 minutes. Got a meeting for the Grand River Classic. Grand River Classic, I hope you guys pull up to that. Little hockey game post-hockey season, March 27th. Raising money for cancer.
What a great opportunity that would be.
Lazaritas versus Art Science in a hockey game. Yours truly, PA, announcing.
Art Science? Why was I not invited to play for that?
Yeah, me neither.
Well, there were tryouts. You guys just weren't tapped in.
What? There were tryouts? When?
Start of the year.
What?
Yeah, be more tapped in. I really don't know what to tell you. But I will be PA announcing this game. If you hear Lazaritas goal scored by number 27, Nathan Pagliaroli.
Lazaritas got pumped by IVA. We're not going to hold that one down.
Okay, it's just a feeler game. It was a feeler game for me as well because, anyway, listen, we're planning the game operations for that. It's been my first taste at really, going down a list saying we need this for the first period, this for the intermission, this for player intros. I want you to play I'm a Boss by Meek Mill. And it's exciting stuff.
Just like
I'd be riding through my old hood, but I'm in my new whip.
Just like you singing the anthems,
I'm a Boss by Meek Mill. What a pull.
The national anthem, it was novel the first time. The second time I got asked, I was like, oh my goodness.
That means you were really good the first time.
Zoe Dupuis probably looking up at me like, what is this guy doing back here again? Speaking my mother tongue at that.
French accent's not strong enough for Zoe Dupuis.
Second, I have a pretty decent accent, but singing it doesn't really come through. Second time, I was like, oh, it was honestly my worst run. Third time, all the heebie-jeebies were gone. I get asked again. I was like, oh, fine, I'll do it. Get up there. Oh, it was my best run. I couldn't believe it. And then they lost. Man. The whole rationale was, well, they've never lost when you've sung the national anthem. Say less.
No, it's because the person who's I don't know, they keep calling him back. They just never showed up for the playoffs to do the anthem.
The girl that they've got last year at Rim Park, they got a woman to sing the national anthem and she dropped out last minute, so I had to sing at the playoff game. Last year.
Same thing happened again?
And then game 2 at Rim Park, and then game 3 at Rim Park. It seems like whenever this team plays at Rim Park, there's just a woman ready to let down the athletics department. And I said, you got to cut. I literally said, can you sever ties with this woman already? She said, we're never texting her again. But I was like, okay, what are we doing? But it's fun. But it just felt like, oh my gosh, again, Beckles sports being perceived, like this team, oh my God. I was ready for an anonymous player to pull up and be like, oh, so you sung the anthem. What was your video today? And I'd have been like, oh, they just asked me to. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. It's just what they told me to do. It'd be like, oh, how many times you're going to even do it? Gosh, I was just like, oh. So I just, for someone creating content, I'm just really uncomfortable with being perceived. But whatever. Sorry to that anonymous player because it was just really uncomfortable. I'm singing up there and I'm going I got my eyes closed and I'm getting the handout and then I'm thinking, man, at least one of these young ladies are probably looking up at me thinking, "Does this guy just give it a rest? Haven't we seen enough of this guy?" But whatever. Alas. Whatever. I hope to one day find a woman's successor of Beckles Sports with the same aura. just with long hair. Imagine just,
Becky Sports.
yeah, you get Becky Sports up there and she's singing and they're like, oh my gosh, Becky is singing up there. Let's go. And it's like, it's valid because, it's a women supporting women in women's spaces versus me just strolling in there with the women's hockey team being like, yeah, let me steal the spotlight from them and start singing the anthem. It's not what I wanted to do. I was just asked. I value women's sports very much. And I love working with that team and I don't want to steal. I just want to support.
There we go.
There we go.
He's got his point off. He's got his
point off. Yeah.
He is. He's got the best stories today for some reason. He's really tapping into like the entire season stories, just letting it go. And he's back.
Speaking of stories, chat.
Oh no.
That story liking metaphor I put up before was not just an anecdote. I've been putting out some not disastrous shots, but sometimes you just see a story that's unliked and you just rip a like. You know what I mean? But it's not the time for that. It's the time to be winding down as we head into final exams. You got to lock in. That's what I'm doing. OUA season's over. I should delete Instagram from my phone. Delete TikTok from my phone. We're losing the plot here.
We're losing the plot here.
This is a great mentor episode. Mateo Beckles mentoring the young casters of the future, Nathan and myself.
I think I'm a decent mentor, though. I feel like I give some good feedback.
Give some good feedback.
Hey, try to suck less. Specifically when talking to
Don't talk before I don't talk before I finish my sentence. It sounds bad.
Well, it did anyway. Listen, just so many pet peeves. I'd be listening back, and I know I'm talking to 2 first years, but these first year busters. Oh my gosh! Between Frankie with the cutoffs and Nathan with the unintelligible sentences that he doesn't finish. Oh my gosh! I'm listening back to what was it? What goal was it?
The goal?
It was the Emily Olsen goal. Listening back to the Emily Olsen goal, this guy Nathan's like, yeah, it's great from Den Hodich. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what did you just say in this? He's like, man.
Not a clue.
And it happens, My first year, I remember I sent this clip to Nathan, and this was probably my first.
You're so proud of this clip, too.
No, it was in second year, but it was my first play-by-play of second year. And it's men's hockey, like, disgusting goal from the captain, Patrick Brown. And in my mind, and for a whole year, I had this clip saved, and I'm going, he walks in, he works in, he shoots, he scores. And I was like, yo, this is so tough. I play it back. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Honestly. Because in my mind, this was like one of the best like clips ever. I was like, I'm going to use this I'm going to post it on the LinkedIn. It's going to be tough. It's going to be great. And I was like, this is a really hype call.
I think I found it.
Oh, I found it as well.
It's Patty Brown.
By Brown, he walks in, he works in, he shoots, he scores.
What
Patrick
the
Brown,
hell?
The captain, a nifty move.
Yeah, that's okay. That's enough. I thought I went crazy. He shoots, he scores. And it just goes to show you can always improve.
Hey, the energy needs to be there.
It wasn't there because I was watching men's hockey.
Myself, my first goal call was rather energetic.
Zabo.
I was getting made fun of it a little bit earlier, but I think I was rather energetic and it captured the moment because they had just come back. Like it was 2-0 and they're like, this is their goal to get them back in the game, and it was exciting because they actually scored a goal. They hadn't done a lot of them.
Oh, the huge pass to Zabo, he scores. The Golden Hawks are back to within 1.
Hey.
Oh yeah, no, it was tough and amazing.
Yeah.
Zabo, he scores.
Yeah, it was hype. It was hype.
It was good looks.
That was the point.
It was more hype than I guarantee you that. Here's a guy who loves Ethan Zabo.
All right.
Guy loves number 20.
He happened to score in both play-by-play games that I did for the men's team. He was the only one to score in both of those games.
You guys are linked.
I haven't got a play-by-play game yet. I need to get some more in. Maybe some basketball
You
next
could
year.
have had. You were just too afraid.
I was a bit afraid. It was only because I didn't know what numbers were. Like, sometimes even when you're calling games, like, who the heck has the puck?
Yeah, and another thing about this guy is he can't read the
I have
pronunciations.
a funny story. So my second ever play-by-play game, I did it with Nathan.
This is my second ever game ever.
This is his second game ever.
Yeah, Nathan told me he couldn't get a word in.
That's true. I kind of didn't let him talk. But it's besides the point. The call, so U of T scores first, and their goal is scored by a guy whose name isn't on my sheet. So I have no idea who scored, and I'm stalling for time. I get him to look it up. We find the name, and I later realized I was pronouncing it wrong the entire time.
Who was it?
Brian Santajuana.
You're saying
Brandon
Joanna.
I was saying Joanna.
That's bad.
Yeah.
But No, that actually a lot. It happened with one Lakehead sent Dan the rosters from last year, and I caught it an hour before game time.
And then Ottawa sent. Ottawa
And then
had a player
Ottawa,
missing.
Ottawa had Madison Desmarais missing, and she's been missing from the roster all year. And for some reason, it never affected me because I just read Desmarais on the jersey and be like, yeah, that's Desmarais 54. Desmarais 54 just really stuck in my head because it kind of almost kind of sounds like Desharnais.
Yeah, it's
And
just
so
a
it's just
really
like-
French name.
It's a not only is it a French name, but a name that stuck out. But it's yeah, I mean that, had I not been wearing my glasses like that one game, I think it was with you,
Yeah, it was
popped out without glasses.
You actually did that
disaster class.
twice with
I
me,
did do that twice, yeah.
with no glasses. You're like,
I feel like I powered through though. You couldn't really tell.
no, you did good.
But when the puck's on the far side,
No.
it's shoveled to the far side
And
by
some
a player.
jerseys,
Hi,
some
hi,
jerseys are impossible to read.
By
Oh,
that
yeah.
guy.
That Brock Times New Roman.
I don't like Ottawa's. Ottawa's granite jerseys I find hard.
Oh,
to read,
Ottawa's
too.
is calm. There's much harder to, when you're doing play-by-play, bro, and you find Brock. There was a player on Brock last year. Her name was what was her name? Mateau Rushbrook. So that's a hyphenated name, and it's like Saltalamacchia, like, spanning the entire like back of the. Oh my god! And every letter looked the same, and the serifs and the outlines.
The big U.
And I'm just like, if I saw a long line, I was like, yeah, that's Mateau Rushbrook. But there's teams where the font has really got to be uniform. Laurier's got some good font. It's just basic, but it's legible. That's what it should
big.
be.
And it's big. U
Big.
of T, men
Oh.
and women's team, their font is very small.
Don't even talk to me about U of T.
Difficult to read.
Don't even talk to me about the University of Toronto Varsity Blues. It's not a team I ever want to. Honestly, it's honestly not a team I ever want to call again. And shout out to the successful season that they had, but yeah.
It's all right. Keep
all
you out of
right.
your misery.
It's okay.
He's in some pain right now after.
They can't hurt you.
They're all in Toronto. Only where you work.
Only back in the Tobes.
Back in E-Tobes, bro, like, you guys don't even understand. I run it there, but when I come to the Lou, they can sense my vulnerability. And they come and become all-stars. It's fine. 2-2s. We're going to get them back next year. Still.
Take his mic away, someone.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I think it's
you said, hey, we want Beckel Sports on the
We-
pod. I said, say no more.
We got the insight.
we have the inside, the mentorship.
Big Beckel Sports. They call me the Big BS. No BS here, though. Tell you that for free.
He's just been spinning. It's just
It's
been
just been spitting bars.
truth. All the stories, all the anonymous players on the women's
All
team.
the anonymous players.
Oh, yeah, anonymous. But, on the docket, exciting stuff. Got the intramural all-star game. Got a little voiceover project. Got Grand River Classic. Everybody pop out.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a Grand River Classic meeting right now at the Science Building.
Such an important guy.
Such an important guy. He's needed everywhere.
Oh, except for in the hearts of those who I wish I was needed from.
Let's calm down.
Sometimes you just want to be held.
You're gonna.
All right.
Held and comforted. And it's just like, man, everybody needs Beckles Sports, but does anybody need Mateo Beckles? Gotta wonder. You've got to wonder.
Oh man.
Spend a few 2 months alone and he starts spiraling out of
Oh,
control.
it's only been 15 days?
Oh.
No big.
They might
We're just powering through here. Personal branding. Go Raptors. All right, well, I'm going to take off here, fellas.
Yeah, you can take
You
off.
can get your
take
F1 talking before the hour cutoff comes.
Yeah, we want the A.
It's 20 seconds.
And just remember,
No,
hey,
we can go a little bit later. We started
Frankie's
early.
mom, if you're listening, follow at Beckles Sports on Instagram. I'm taking your son under my wing, and he's going to be okay till I graduate. Then what? You got to wonder. I wonder every day. I say, man, that Frankie with his leather jacket and his LinkedIn and the girls in his Instagram comments, I'm thinking, Frankie, man, what are we doing? But I'm going to take you under my wing, and I'm going to make sure that you get out of Radio Laurier and you get out of Laurier a successful man. But once I'm not able to lend that watchful eye, like Obi-Wan when he gets struck down in episode 4, what is Luke going to do? Is he going to lose his way? Frankie's mom, I'll tell you something for free. If you ever need help, Rylan, containing this young sheep, let a brother know. The youth get out of hand sometimes, but we've got a bright future. And don't even get me started on PAG Sports. Oh man.
Thank you, Mateo Beckles.
PAG Sports. You come to a hockey game, this guy's talking to himself. Oh, surely he's practicing the pronunciation of the players' names. No, he butchers them all. He's talking about when you come to my aunt's house. It's just, it's a bleak future, but the kids will be all right. All right, everybody, take care. Follow at Beckles Sports. Hold the fort. Hold the fort. Hold the fort. Cut to commercial.
There won't be any cutting to commercial. Wait.
Well, Frankie's mom,
we're still.
I was about to
going on
leave, but I'm
this.
back here. I'm back here. Frankie's mom, I'm telling you something. That's a bright young man over here. And
Thank you. Appreciate
despite all the concern that he warrants,
that. Concern?
yeah, a lot of concern.
What?
There's a lot of, when he dyed that blue streak in his hair, I was like, dude,
When did I do that?
Surely your mother's going to find out. And he said, chill, don't tell her. And I was like, pal, buddy, there's only so much you can do. But at the end of the day, there's a support system here. I remember when I was the youngest in Radio Laurier, when I was what's the opposite of the king of the pack? I was Simba.
The peasant?
I was no peasant. Nice that, pal. But I was Simba, and I was getting shown the Pride Lands, and I was like, one day this is going to be my kingdom. It's my kingdom now. And you know what? Simba's kids, Nathan's Kira, and you're the other one. And
The other one.
I forget his name.
Kion?
Yes, actually, what the heck? See, the kids are going to be all right.
Lion Guard.
Frankie's mom, hey, I'm telling you, shoot me an email if you ever need help, because this kid can be a lot. But we're going to be all right. All right, everyone. It's been real. Hold the fort. The voice of Laurier's, the sound of... All right.
We're turning his mic off. He can't come back on.
we're
turning his mic off.
We're turning it off.
We're turning the mic
That
off.
was Mateo Beckles, everybody.
What a guy.
We didn't talk much sports.
I think we can talk a little bit.
We can talk a little bit about
F1.
the Australian
You
Grand
were-
Prix.
Wasn't it?
Yes, we're going to talk a little bit about the Australian Grand Prix and what a race it was. First race of 2026. The new boost button. Charles Leclerc talking about how he's playing Mario Kart in real life. Aston Martin both retiring. Actually, not even retiring, both registering as non-competitive because Lance Stroll was 15 laps down. Yeah, your beloved Astons, 2 NCs, not even DNFs. NCs. How do we feel about that?
With the Aston Martin, I'm done with that team right now. They're on the I can't. That car, it was so hyped up from 2024. Oh, 2026 is our year. And then they got Newey, and then it's just been you shouldn't be competing with the Cadillacs as a team with billions and billions of dollars being inserted into it, new facilities, and no, it's brutal. It's been brutal. Ferrari looks decent. Mercedes, it looks like they turned back the clock to 6 years ago, and it's certainly been something.
Yeah, exactly. It's been something for sure. I mean, Ferrari getting 3-4, we love that. Mercedes 1-2, that was expected. McLaren doing worse, that was expected. Verstappen coming back from 18th to finish 6th, that's expected. Hadjar retiring because of an engine failure on the second Red Bull, expected. I think that race was mediocre because it was everything that you expected from the first race of new regulations and whatever. And we know that the Honda power unit has problems and Aston Martin's going to suffer, and Fernando Alonso might not be able to walk after the end of the season because he's going to get nerve damage from the vibrations in that Honda power unit. They have to fix that. You genuinely have to. There's nothing. You cannot let that go.
No, that it's abhorrent, and you could probably get a NASCAR or rally car and put it on that track, and it would probably outpace the Aston Martin. Once again, you shouldn't be competing with the Cadillacs, and hopefully this isn't a boring season. We saw the first 20 laps of that race. Have we ever seen 1-2 fight like that? It's been a while. It certainly has been a while, and even it was kind of disappointing how it ended. It was just nothing. You could have if you left after the 20th lap, and you went to go do something, you went to go to a bar, and then you showed up back at the...
Go to a bar. It was at midnight.
Exactly. That's the time for that in this town. And then you go back, and then you go back to the race, and nothing happened.
Yeah, that's what it is, right? That's what F1 is. It's all the first 20 laps are first 20 laps, your first stint, you really want to get your track position and you just want to hold it because most of the time you're in a good enough spot after those 20 laps. Like if you're a decent driver, if you have decent racecraft, you can get up 4 spots, 5 spots easy in those first 20 laps, if not more. And all you want to do is hold it because most of the time you don't want to kill your tires. You don't want to get damage or anything that's going to screw up your track position. So you're going to stay and you're going to let your strategy work, which is what F1 is. It's all strategy.
It is all strategy, and that's kind of a shame. Like, especially these cars, like you have to deploy, you have downshift on the straight. I think that's a bad look for the sport overall. If you
I
have
think so too. I don't agree with the downshifting on the straight. I don't agree with that at
downshiftting,
all.
clipping, to regain energy. It's just like, is this the sport we want? Like where it's become to, where you can't go full out? Like, and it was on Australia. Australia's like one of the more standard like street circuit. But like, imagine getting on a proper circuit.
It's probably the best street circuit due to its function because of its functionality. It's a great layout. It's got the speed, it's got the tight turns, but more importantly, it has the chaos of a street circuit as well.
Yeah, and then but here's the thing: what happens? Like Verstappen came out and said, like he basically laughed when they asked, like, how's he going to work on this, like the 1.5 kilometer straight in Shanghai? He basically came out and like laughed at that. It's like this car's, he knows.
Yeah, it's not going to be able to go. It's not going to be able to go full out. It'll explode.
No, it's going to be like it's going to be disgusting. Like
They're gonna get a kilometer in, then the last 500 meters they're gonna slow down in anticipation for that huge ass hairpin.
yeah, and it's just like so like if even last year's cars with DRS, like they're getting moves done at the end of the straight, especially you're a second behind. So like how much like it's gonna be like Monaco, like you need a lot of like you need to be gaining time per lap to make that move, or because everyone's just gonna hold the battery to the straight. And they
Mhm.
okay, use the battery, and like the Ferraris are phenomenal off the start. Like is anyone beating Mercedes? I think it's gonna be. I think Red Bull can. Verstappen drove an incredible race.
Verstappen can,
Verstappen
not
can.
Hadjar.
Hadjar can play his role. It's not like a Sonoda where, hey, Yuki, defend like a lion, and he defends like a feline cat and like a house
I
cat.
feel like Hadjar's not a very defensive driver though. Like he's not that kind of driver. Like that's why Perez was good in those first couple years. That's why Sonoda was good because they are very, very defensive drivers. They get to where they need to be and they sit there and they act like a wall. Hadjar doesn't do that. He's very aggressive. He attacks. That's why he did so well in that RB because it was a weaker car. He put the car in 13th in qualifying and ended the race in 8th because he would just push and push and push and push and push and then get mad when he destroyed the car because that's what he is. He's a very aggressive attacking driver and I feel like he doesn't work in the defensive role. I feel like he's going to butt heads with Verstappen or Verstappen's going to see it and be like, I'm going to mentor this kid and he's going to be the next me.
I think Verstappen just might go to Mercedes. Here's the thing,
I don't think he's moving. You know how much money they're giving him?
they're giving him a lot of money, but still he wants to win. This is a guy who values winning over everything. Like
That's very
here's the thing, like Russell right now, because I don't think Toto's never going to cut Kimi. Like that's his child, basically.
No, never.
And Russell, if Russell wins the World Driver Champion, you can't cut the champion. And so like Verstappen might stick around, yeah, hanging with Hadjar. You know what else is impressing me right now? That's already putting heat on Hadjar's seat. Arvin Lindblad. He looked phenomenal.
Yep. Arvin Lindblad is a diamond in the rough of a pick. He came from small beginnings. He won the F2 championship, I believe he did. And he's good. He's good. And for a lot of F1 drivers, their debut really doesn't show a lot because you remember Kevin Magnussen in a bad McLaren came third in his debut. You remember that?
K-Mag,
K-Mag, I love him.
He's a great, but he's
His career didn't really pan out the way people thought he would. People were after that first race. People were saying, "Oh, he's world championship driver. He's going to be the next Mika Hakkinen. He's going to be great for McLaren." And what happened? He was at McLaren for 1 year.
I still think Lindblad, especially with that promotion system, he's going to get promoted eventually.
He will get promoted,
Hadjar-
and then he's going to turn into Pierre Gasly.
Hadjar can't blink. He basically can't blink. I think Lawson's out of the sport by next year.
Lawson, I don't know if he's out of the sport. I feel like he's in the wrong racing series. Honestly, I believe if you put Liam Lawson in a GT3 car, in a sports car, he's winning literally everything he can because the Australians, they're better at closed wheel cars than they are open wheels with the exception of Daniel Ricciardo. But Daniel Ricciardo, if you put him in an Extreme E or in a rally car, he's doing numbers. Like you see the potential in that, right? And that's just because that's how Australia is. It's not a very open wheel centric like country. You think about it, you don't think of open wheel racing.
No, I
The
think
countries you think of open wheel racing, you think of England, you think of Italy, you think of Germany in open wheel racing, right?
yeah.
Right? And you think of the States because of IndyCar. Arvin Lindblad is racing as I believe, a Brit.
He is. Yeah, pretty
Either
sure
he's racing
I think he's under a British.
under a British flag, but he can race under the American flag and he can race under the Indian flag as well because of his heritage.
Yeah, it's an all around. And here's the thing. Like, I think he's at least top 15 right now. If you
He's
really,
good. He's very good. I don't think there's anyone who could have taken that other seat unless you give it back to Yuki. But then again, I feel like Yuki needs that time off to maybe go back to Japan, do Super Formula, maybe do some GT. Again, I believe F1 drivers that take time off, do GT racing and come back, it'll work wonders for them.
I think he could steal that second Alpine seat. I don't know. I think Colapinto, his time in Alpine is
I know, but Colapinto is like Perez. He has a whole country of money behind him. That's the kicker.
That's the kicker. But
That's the kicker.
Flavio's about to rip him apart.
Flavio Briatore should still be banned from the sport. I don't know how the heck he weaseled his way back in.
Flavio does what Flavio wants.
Flavio does what Flavio wants. He almost ended the life of Nelson Piquet Jr. so that Fernando Alonso could win one race in 2008.
Yeah, hey, that's Flavio Briatore. He's about to end Colapinto's. He's about to end Colapinto's life. If what actually is coming out, if those actual videos,
Hey, Franco, do it again.
he's about like he's
Execute Order 66
for Pierre Gasly to finish P11.
for Pierre Gasly to finish P10. It's gonna be like in the F1 movie when Sonny keeps damaging his front wing on purpose in Hungary to give Joshua Pierce P10 and the race under safety car. They're gonna do that. They're gonna actually do that. He's gonna watch the movie one day to be like, oh, I could do that.
He's probably already watched the movie. He's probably planning this out for like an important race.
Franco, Plan C. What? You remember from the movie? Yeah. Plan C. Do it. Okay.
I think if you tell
Front wing.
I think if you tell Colapinto to crash, he might finish P1.
No, I don't want to clash. I don't want to crash. I'm going to drive the car now.
He's got raw pace, but he has no control of the car.
I feel like that's the case with a lot of the young guys is they have the raw talent. It's the endurance part that is gone.
Yeah, he's like he's a pure qualifier, but he's not very good in qualifying. And
Like you don't have guys like Vettel and Raikkonen and Hamilton even anymore who can last that long with the same effectiveness that they have on lap 1. George Russell gets mad at lap 40 and starts trying to hurt people.
yeah, Norris,
Osama bin Russell.
he has like his mental game shot half the time. Piastri,
Norris, if he wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, he's going to finish P6 and hurt somebody.
yeah, and then you got Piastri who
Is the same but Australian.
He fumbled the championship. Like he plays off cool and calm and collected, and then he might like what's happening inside that head might not be.
It's a very mental sport, and Hamilton is the definition of cool, calm, and collected.
Oh, not anymore.
You don't see him get mad that much anymore.
He's just all depressed all of a sudden.
Exactly.
He's
And I
just
feel like
mopey.
that's what works. Being mopey. It works because he's calm. He finished P4. He put the car in a good spot and he's doing good. He's like, okay.
For the first time, I don't know how much he's taken himself not being that Mercedes car this year.
I feel like that was a relationship that was going to end sooner rather than later because they weren't giving him the money he wants.
And Toto,
And Ferrari's like, here, we have
everything.
millions of dollars in espresso money that we can just throw over to you. Would you like a house? Do you want Enzo Ferrari's house? You can take it. Do you want a limited edition 250 GTO from 1962? Yes, of course. Why not? Lewis,
It's worked. It worked.
Lewis, you're going to Michael Schumacher again. What? That sentence didn't even make sense. But I feel like that. Yeah,
Woke up Schumacher, and
he's been awake.
but I think he's making like public appearances.
He remembers his team principal from when he won all those championships with Ferrari. Jean Todt still goes over to the Schumacher house, and Michael recognizes him.
I think whenever he makes his first like actual like public
appearance, it'll be.
He's got to do it at Monza.
I feel like yeah, he will, or he'll do it at Monaco.
I don't know about Monaco.
Because Monaco is like Monaco. Come on,
Yeah,
everybody's there.
he could if he does it at Monza, it'll absolutely like
Oh my God.
all of Italy burns down.
It would be the second coming of God for Italy.
Oh my God! And yeah, if he does, it's a good thing he's okay.
Yeah, like that's a very scary.
But the
incident.
F1 season, I think gets interesting after June 1st when the new regulation changes, like for Mercedes, because their engine's illegal.
Oh yes, of
and it
course.
finally kicks in,
The
like,
engine. Yeah,
50
they have to start developing that.
50 plus horsepower, like compared to their like McLaren same engine, and it's
See now, if that didn't happen in 2019, Sebastian Vettel or Charles Leclerc, Sebastian Vettel might have won the championship in 2019.
yeah, they clamped down. Now they give them, you got the June, so you get to like as many points as you want up to June. So June 1st, and I think it's interesting there. I think Ferrari, Red Bull start actually like really competing. Like I don't know, we don't know. It's only one race. It's only Australia. We'll see what happens because I think China, they'll let you know like how it's going to play down for a lot of these long back road straights. how on those races, who's going to dominate those races. But so far, if it plays out like Australia, George Russell's going to have a substantial lead. And he's just going to hope that the June 1st changes don't cook him.
This might be his time. I think this might be his time.
It feels about right. Like
He's got to win every race from now to June if he wants a chance.
Yeah, because I think once that change comes in,
He'll be finishing 4th on the regular.
You're going to have the Ferraris down your throat. You have Verstappen down your throat.
Just him, though. And maybe one McLaren.
Whatever McLaren gets the more preferable treatment. I think they're both talented enough drivers to put
but
in.
I feel like all of those Mercedes engines are going to get screwed now.
I think it's just in the Merc one. I think the customer engines, they catch a leg up.
No, they get, if anything, because the factory team gets access to the upgrades first.
That is
So it's going to take a week to get to McLaren, and then a week to get to this, and then everybody dies.
Then we see what the Ferrari engine does. I think the Ferrari
The Ferrari engine is going to stay exactly the way it is because Italian engineering is awesome, and they can't do aerodynamics, but they can sure as hell build an engine.
Hey, they got the rotating spit. I like to see that in a race. The kebab spit on the back.
The kebab spit on the wing, and the winglets on the halo. Anything for more aerodynamics, anything for less air in Charles Leclerc's nose.
It works. It works because they're a competitor. They're the second best team on the grid. They haven't really been the second best team on the grid, and it feels like since when? Like forever? In Italian terms, it's been forever since they've been like a top 2 team on the grid.
Yes.
It's been forever.
Well, since like 2017. 2017 was the last time we had a shot. I think 2017 was and 2019 and 2017 to 18-19 were the last opportunity for Vettel to win a championship.
We weren't even teenagers. Let's think about that.
We were.
27.
Oh no, we were 10. Oh yeah, no, you're right.
This is a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. That's 9 years ago. That's 9 years ago. It was before the Halo.
Yeah, this is ancient.
This
time.
is ancient times. This is when Fernando Alonso was pooping around in old McLaren.
Yeah, it's been a while.
GP2 engine. GP2.
It's gonna be an entertaining season.
I think so too.
after the halfway point, it's gonna be an entertaining end. I think that's gonna do it for us. We've gone
way over the time.
Yeah, they're gonna. Hopefully, there's not a show after us. They're gonna hate us.
I hope so.
And so that's gonna do it. It's been me, Nathan Pagliaroli, alongside Frankie Mandarino, Matteo Beckles.
He was here for a little bit.
A long time. And so that's gonna do it. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Golden Bold.